May I have your attention, please?
Hi, my name is Yogesh Nanda and I am the founding director of Emprego Consulting Services. The kind of work that we do here is basically bridge the gap between the company's organizations and the job seekers. Now, I'm sure you would know that there are a lot of consultants present across the length and breadth of India. So why is there a need of a YouTube channel? The purpose of creating this YouTube channel is because over the years we have accumulated a lot of knowledge and learning about the concepts of human resource and interviewing, recruitment, and talent acquisition. So these are the few faces of the same coin. Now to come to the first point, which is the complexity of hiring. Now you may not understand what is the kind of complexity which is involved in hiring a candidate, because you as a candidate are only aware that the people are not hiring, or there are a lot of questions which are prevalent in the industry at the moment. First, students find it very difficult to find their first job. I don't know why they feel so, because there are ample amount of opportunities available in the market. Otherwise, the education industry would not have been booming. Then there is a question. Then students are also always afraid of as to what am I going to be asked in the interview? What is it that I answered? So these are very basic questions. I'm sure a lot of people must have been telling you things. So, but then this question still remains unanswered. Then there are also challenges where the hiring manager is frustrated because he is tired of seeing the non-fit candidates. Now, you may not understand at this point in time as to what a fit candidate for a role is and what an unfit candidate for a role is, because no candidate can be classified that way. It is over the period of over the next few videos that you will come across what we mean by this. The purpose of creating this dedicated YouTube channel is because we want to address each and every question that a recruiter has, that a candidate has, that a student has, or a hiring manager has. From looking at one's perspective, like if I was to talk about student, so they would feel that it is only he or she who is troubled, and rest others are just making joy in their lives. However, it isn't such. Recruiter's life is equally difficult, and so is the life of a hiring manager. Now, if I come down to a most basic thing, why this whole scenario started is because of the commercialization of education industry. I am sure even if you were to go to a college to take an MBA degree, the first question that you would ask is, what is the return on investment? When I accompanied a cousin of mine and they started in the college, and the student and the cousin of mine started talking on those terms, I was astonished and surprised. Why is there a need of that question? I mean, are we going to a college only to get a salary package, or are we going to that college to get our skills enhanced? In my perspective, we choose a college only because we want to get our skills enhanced so that we become employable. Whereas what the college and the students are talking about is, what is the return on investment? What is the kind of salary that I would get if I do MBA from you? Trust me, no college can guarantee that. Despite of this, they are quoting a lot of figures that the minimum package that we'll get you would be about 6 lakh, 7 lakh, or XYZ, whatever figure that they quote. But that is absolutely untrue, because nobody in this entire world can guarantee that. Then coming on to the another question, which we will address in the other coming videos, is the frustration about the feedbacks. Students or the prospective interviewees say that we do not get feedback on our interview from the recruiters. See, if hiring a job is, if applying for a job is difficult for you, hiring a candidate is equally difficult. Why do we want somebody to call us and tell us that you're no good to us? I'm sure you would not like it. If I was somebody call me up and say this, I'm sure I'm not going to like it. So if we don't get to hear anything from the recruiter for about 7 days, we can assume that we may not be suitable for this role, and we may keep exploring other opportunities. So having said so, I am not justifying the recruiter that he or she should not get back to you. In all possibilities, they must keep the follow up on whether you are a select or a reject. but trust me, their job is very troublesome. They meet a lot of candidates. The candidates themselves are not sure as to what is it that they want to apply for, what stream do they want to get into. To talk about the candidates, there are basically two kinds. One is the go-getter types who always thinks that, irrespective what, I will crack this interview. And the other kind is they're always scared. They're always asking the other person who's getting into the interview room as to what is it that they've asked you. Why do you want to know what is it that the interviewer has asked the other candidate? Aren't you yourself? My belief is you be yourself, appear for an interview, and I am sure you will get through. The first thing that you need to identify is what skill are you wanting to imbibe in yourself, and then develop it. We'll learn and we'll see and we'll figure out as to how to find that out over the next videos. And every question that I've just quoted in this video will be addressed in our upcoming videos. However, at this point in time, I would like to conclude it by saying that in case if you are a job seeker, in case if you are a middle management employee who's working for about a few years, or a recruiter who's just entered the job, or a hiring manager, you may please keep following us on YouTube to get your questions addressed. Another thing that I think I want to highlight here is the hiring managers also feel frustrated because a lot of managers have been elevated to the level of hiring manager without the proper recruitment training. So it may sound very weird. A lot of people may take it otherwise and may not like it. But then if you talk about companies like Google, Microsoft, there's a proper recruitment training which happens to their employee once they become the hiring managers, and it is imperative. Because till such time I don't know how to find what I am about to find, how will I find it? Or even if I find it, I may not find the right fit or the best fit. So hence, the subject matter experts, the majority of hiring managers of the small and medium-sized organizations are not following this procedure of giving the recruitment training. So what happens is the hiring manager is a subject matter expert of their own domain. They know everything about their domain. They exactly know what they want from a candidate, and they exactly know what is the kind of person that they want to hire, but then they just do not know how. So what they do is they end up doing basically hit and trials. Every time they try a different method because even they want a resource so that they can delegate the responsibilities to that resource. But then they have a lot of difficulties. So what I would say is keep following us, keep looking at us. This is just an introductory video that I've posted for you online. We will take a lot of topics. Plus, we will also be happy if you share your own topics and concerns which would like to be discussed. I will be more than happy to discuss it. Now you may say, who are you to discuss it, and how can you describe that to us? To give you a little background, the consulting that I run is about good 13 years old. We hire for all the top-notch clients. I am not allowed to name the clients on this video and to bring it in public domain. Whereas if you do a bit of research about me, Yogesh Nanda, you will find that out. So we bring that experience of good 13 years. We've seen all sides of coins. We've seen all kinds of candidates. We've seen all kinds of hiring managers, and we've seen all kinds of recruiters. We've also seen recruiters moving out of this industry in just 30 days of their joining. If not 30, 90 days, 80% of the recruiters who join into the consulting firms, they change their domain or change their job. It is only because our direction is not right. So not that I'm saying the system is not right, there are only some tweaks and glitches required. Once that is fixed, and I'm sure this is the best industry to work in, and Indian industry as it is at its peak, and I'm sure it is going to be even better. Thank you. Keep watching us, and would like to see you again.